Hello friends, Coach Bob with you today, and today we are in episode 1 of The Journey. So what is the journey? Well, the journey is your life. It's everything that you make of it. It is weight loss, it is physical fitness, it is emotional fitness, it is spiritual fitness, all of those things. So I want to give you brass tacks things that you can do, things that I can do, and understand that when you have the best laid plans, that bad things are still going to happen. In your life, it's not as simple and cut and dry as we often imagine it to be. It just isn't. So what do I mean by that? Well, I'm on this journey right now. Last year, for anyone who's watched this channel, was a very difficult year for me with the loss of my daughter. And through that time, I have put on an enormous amount of weight. And when I say enormous, I mean probably 20, 25 pounds. I have never had the belly that laid over my belt line ever in my lifetime. I'm soft. I feel bad. I don't look great. And I need to take control of that. You know, if you're in that position, you need to take control of it too. So my job is to show you what you can do, and you can go along with what I'm doing, because I am going to do this. And if you watch this every week, there's going to be an episode every week, 52 weeks this year of the journey. If this video gets 10 views, I don't care. If it gets 2 views, I don't care. If the 2 people that watch it, it helps them and it changes their life and makes them happier, then it's well worth the time. All right, so where are we going to start? Well, the first place we're going to start is this physical body. We're just going to take a very simple concept. How much do you need to eat? And what do you need to do to lose weight? Let's start there. That's where most people are in January as they do their New Year's resolutions. They're going to go to the gym and all that stuff. Well, let's start with the number one thing that you need to remember. If you don't already know, we'll tell you, and then don't ever forget this. You get fit at the gym and you get fat at the table. That's where you get fat. You don't get thin in the gym. You get fit in the gym. You get thin at the table. It's not until you learn to control your diet that you are going to be able to lose weight. I don't mean go on a diet. That is not what I'm talking about. And I understand that because in my lifetime, I have been a healthy eater my entire life. But this year, I ate a lot of junk. And I'm going to tell you, I did the grief eat, where you're like, I feel bad. I think I'll eat a bunch of garbage. And that's what I did. And I sat in front of the TV a lot and I put on weight. Let me tell you, the most dangerous thing in your house is not a gun. The most dangerous thing outside is not a car. You know what the most dangerous thing is? It's that blue chair in your living room that you sit in. Get out of it and move. Okay, enough of that. So we need real brass tacks. How do I know how much to eat? We're going to go to that right now. So I'm going to open up a web page right here. This web page is www.calculator.net. That's right, www.calculator.net. So with you, I'm going to type it in right now. It is going to bring you to a home screen, and it's going to have all kinds of calculators, financial calculators, fitness and health calculators. That's what you're looking for. Fitness and health calculator. And the second one from the top, the first one is a BMI calculator. The second one is a calorie calculator. That's the one we're going to. So I just clicked on that, and it's going to show you a series of blanks. Your age, I'm 63. Your sex, I'm a male. Your height, I'm 6 feet 2 inches tall. Your weight, I'm going to go weigh right now. I'm going to weigh with my sweatshirt on, so it could be, I'll subtract 1.5 pounds. How's that? All right. So my official weigh-in was 216 with my clothes on, so I'm going to call it 215. The next thing it's going to ask you, and this is a serious question, one that you have to really answer honestly. Activity. How active are you? Now, when it says moderate, that's 4 to 5 times a week of exercise. If you're going to do 4 to 5 times a week of exercise, then you can click moderate. If you are not going to average 4 to 5 times a week, then click the little drop box and go to light, which would be 1 to 3 times a week. If you're going to do little to no exercise, then put in sedentary. And if you just want to know your basal metabolic rate, how many calories it takes to keep you alive, click on basal metabolic rate. Now, in the old days, I was very physical. I was the 6 to 7 days a week. I'm not that anymore. I will say that I am 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 times a week. Now, if you plan on your peak being 4, then make it 3 to 4 times a week. But if you plan on it being 4 sometimes, but normally you're hitting that 5, go to 4 to 5. You understand, that top number needs to be the one you're going to do most of the time. So 4 to 5 times a week is what I'm going to hit. That's where I want to be. But I'm going to hit you with a shocker right now. As you're watching this video, I am under the knife having surgery. I have an umbilical hernia, which means that for the next 6 weeks, I can do no physical activity. So, as much as it pains me, I'm going to have to type in sedentary because that's where I am right now. You have to be honest with where you are and what's going on in your life. The surgery is going to set me back, y'all. But that's real life. That's what happens. It's what happens to you. It's what happens to me. So here I am, sedentary. Now I simply click the calculate button. Boom, here it is. So it tells me that as a 63-year-old male, that's 6'2", that I can eat 2,200 calories a day, and I should not put on weight, nor should I lose weight. Now, I'm going to tell you, based on my experience in my life, if I eat 2,200 calories a day, I'm probably not going to maintain my weight. It's possible, but it's unlikely. For mild weight loss, it has 1,900 calories. For weight loss, 1 pound a week, 1,700 calories. And for extreme weight loss, 1,208 calories. Now, I am going to go between the 1 pound and the extreme weight loss, which is 2 pounds. 2 pounds is not a lot. Let me tell you, 2 pounds is not a lot of weight loss a week. So I take 1,700 and 1,200. I add them together. That's 2,900. Now I divide that by 2. 1,450 calories a day is my maximum. That is the maximum amount of food that I can eat while I am sedentary and expect to not put on weight and quite possibly lose weight. Now, does it matter what those calories consist of? Well, of course it does. You eat junk, you're going to feel like crap. Your insulin's going to be all over the place. You're going to crave food. And quite honestly, you're never going to stick with it. You need a well-balanced diet. Let me give you an idea of what mine is going to look like for the next 6 weeks. In the morning time, 3 egg whites and a cup of strawberries. That's my breakfast. 3 egg whites and a cup of strawberries. Every day, 7 days a week. That's what I eat for breakfast. By the way, that's what I ate for breakfast, except for I was more active. I did 4 egg whites, but because I'm less active, I'm only going to do 3 egg whites and a cup of strawberries 7 days a week. I've done that for years. I enjoy that. I put pepper in the eggs. I put a little hot sauce in there, and that's pretty much it. I do that. I have a cup of coffee, and I indulge with my coffee. I actually have creamer in it. And yes, I count the calories in my cream. So there's breakfast. What is lunch going to look like for me? It's going to be a reasonably sized Caesar salad. I love Caesar salads. Quite honestly, I could eat them for 3 meals a day. That's what I'm going to do for lunch. What am I going to do for supper? I am going to do a piece of meat that is the size of the palm of my hand. That will normally be 4 to 6 ounces when I measure it that way. A baked potato. Yes, I said a baked potato. I'm going to put it in the microwave and I'm going to punch holes in it with a fork and I'm going to cook it for 3 minutes. I'm going to make sure it spins over, turn it upside down. Then I'm going to hit it for 3 more minutes and then I'm going to check it with a fork. It should be ready after 5 to 6 minutes. If the baked potato is smaller than my fist, I'm right on target. I can find some that are even smaller. If I'm not crazy hungry, I'll just grab a smaller baked potato than that. And then I will also have some vegetables. I'm a big green bean guy. Enough green beans, how many? To fill that right there. Would fill my hand. That's how I measure it. So, piece of meat, potato, beans. That is my supper. Now, I know you're saying, Coach, that probably isn't a lot of calories. And you would be correct. That would be approximately 900 calories, roughly. So in order to get up those other 500 calories, I will be doing either fruit and vegetables as a snack between breakfast and lunch, and the other snack will be a protein shake. My protein levels will be adequate due to my breakfast and my supper and my protein supplement, and I'll show you the supplement that I'm using. So what supplements am I using? Well, I can tell you that every morning, and this is not an enormous amount of calories, but it is calories. This right here, AG1, I drink this every morning. It is called Athletic Greens. It's kind of expensive and it doesn't taste that great, but I can tell you that the only time I've gotten sick in the last 2 years were when I took a break from this. When Baba was in the hospital ill the last week of her life, I did not take this because I was up there 24/7 for a week. Did not take this. I got very, very sick. And around Thanksgiving, I got lazy, didn't take it, and guess who got sick? Yours truly. As far as a protein supplement, this is what I use. This is the On Whey Protein, the gold. Been using this for years. It's inexpensive. It's reasonably good. Is it the best on the market? No. Is it the worst? No. Coach Vic's like the Oikos, Oikos, I believe it's spelled, the little pre-made shakes. She loves those things. She swears by them. I prefer to just put one scoop in a small little shaker and drink it up. So there is a day of eating. Breakfast, well balanced. A snack, well balanced. Lunch, well balanced. A snack, well balanced. Supper, well balanced. And first thing in the morning, my AG1. Every day, if I do that, I will be between, depending on serving size and the meats that I eat, I will be between 11 and 1,400 calories every single day. Now, if I can do that through recovery of surgery, I should come out of that, theoretically, let's say I lose 1.5 pounds a week for the next 6 weeks. That's 9 pounds. That takes me from 215 to 206. You know what? 215 to 206. If I can do that, when I turn up the heat and get in the gym, I'll watch the weight roll off a lot faster. And I'll feel better because I'm not eating garbage. So there is your diet. That is all there is to it. It's very simple. You don't have to do a whole lot of counting. What you have to do is develop a daily routine. All right, so we've talked about the physical man. Let's talk a little bit about the spiritual and emotional man, because we don't want to forget that. The book that I am reading right now that is feeding my intellectual self and helping me heal emotionally. If you're in a place where you've been kind of beat up or beat down, or however you want to say it, and you need something that's going to inspire you to be better, to feel better, this is a book that I wholeheartedly recommend. I got a friend of mine, he came to me earlier this week and was asking me about a recommended book, and he started reading this, and we also have downloaded it on Audible. So we've got the hardback version that we're reading and we're writing in, and then we have the Audible that we're just listening to. Let me explain what this book is and what it's about. It's by Henry J.M. Nouwen. Now, Nouwen is spelled Nouwen. The name of the book is The Inner Voice of Love. This guy is a priest. He's a Dutch priest, and he wrote this book at a dark time in his life when he was going through a spiritual crisis. And what he did is he would write these things in his journal. They're very simple. And each writing within his journal takes a minute, maybe 2 minutes to read. The book is short. It's only like 80 pages long. It's not something you just read for an hour. You read it, you contemplate it. Because I promise you, as you read the struggles of his day-to-day life, you are going to relate to them. Here is a few of the titles of these daily writings. One is Working Around Your Abyss. The other, Cling to the Promise. Stop Being a Pleaser. Trust the Inner Voice. Cry Inward. Always Come Back to the Solid Place. Those are a few of the titles. And when you listen to it on audible.com, each one of these sections is literally 1 minute long, 38 seconds long, 57 seconds long, 1 minute and 2 seconds long, 1 minute long, 1 minute and 21 seconds long. These are short things. What I do is I take those 7 for the 7 days of a week, and I listen to those 7 all the way through. I go back, I listen to all 7 of them again, go back, listen to all 7 of them again. I do it 3 times in the morning, 3 times in the afternoon, and each day I only read one of them. I read number 1 on day 1. On day 2, I read number 2. Then I read number 3. But each day I'm listening to all of that entire week over and over again. So when I get to that place to look at these things, I'm familiar with them and I'm thinking about them. And then I journal about my thoughts, where I am, what it means to me. And if you can find a partner to do this with you, you're going to grow in multiple ways. One, you're going to grow intellectually because it's going to challenge you to use that old brain. The other thing it's going to challenge you to do is to grow spiritually because there are a lot of spiritual concepts in this book. So we have talked a great deal about feeding the body. We've talked a small amount about feeding the mind and about feeding the soul. Now, I'm not telling you to take those 2 categories of the mind and the soul and press them down and compress them and make them small. On the contrary, but what each week is going to do, it's going to help you along your journey on how to do these things. Brass tacks. With what I've given you, you know now exactly what I eat. You know exactly where I found my calculator and how many calories a day it tells me I can eat in order to lose weight. Trust the system. It works. The system works. What is my exercise going to look like? Well, for the next 6 weeks, it's going to be a few mild walks. I'm told by my surgeon, he told me point blank, he goes, expect the next 3 days to be horrible. He goes, you are going to be in unbelievable pain because every time you breathe, every time you move, every time you cough, every time you talk, it is going to hurt, and it is going to hurt like a rascal. All right? So I understand that. I expect that. Am I afraid of it? No. Am I worried about it? No. But I understand it to be a reality. So is there anything else that I am reading, though? And the answer is yes, there is. This will come as no surprise to anyone. It's simply a Bible. Simply a Bible. How much am I reading? Sometimes a paragraph, sometimes a chapter, sometimes a book. It depends. If I read 2 verses and those 2 verses speak to me, I'll ponder them. I'll meditate on them. I want to go into the deep water where change occurs because I need to change. Now, you may not need to change, but I do. I need to move out of the dark nights into the well-lit days. And in the Boy Scout way, I want to do it while being physically fit and morally straight. And that's what I want to do. Is that where you are? I don't know. I can't make that call for you. I can only make that call for me. But remember this, the ability for you to change and the ability for you to grow begins right now on the journey, day 1. If you would, do me a favor, pray for me. Think about me as I go through this week in recovery and see where I'm going to be. And I look forward to next week for the journey, week 2. All right. Well, there you have it. Another one in the books. So I want you to do me a favor. You, yes, you, go change your world.